Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Free Agents podcast. Back for some more pre-agents, going all the way back to the beginning of the challenge, although we are nowhere near the beginning of the challenge anymore because we are all the way on season 17. Can you believe it? The 17th season of the challenge. And that would be the Duel 2. So there's a lot to get into as we kick off coverage of a whole new season, really big moments, or at least one really big moment in these two episodes to get us started. Again, can't wait to get into it all. Of course, I am Matt here with, as always, Brian Scally. Scally, what's up?
Hello. I am so excited. We're done with the island. I'm very excited to get into the Duel 2. I diving into it felt so bizarre to be done with the island. That season has such a vibe to it. It could be a horrific one, but it is so specific that I just felt like, we're never going to be able to paddle off of there. We are stuck here for quite some time. And so we move into the Duel 2, and this is a season I'm excited to revisit. So oh boy.
I would say that, like, not in the exact same way that I think we felt with season, like with Fresh Meat, that like that was the beginning of a new era. But I'm wondering if, and I don't know this because I don't remember the details of all these seasons, as we all know. But I'm wondering if like this is going to start to feel like a bit of a shift in the show, just with like the island being such a weird spot. And now that we've moved on from that, like, does this kickstart a little bit of whatever's to come next? I don't know if that tracks for you whatsoever.
I think totally. I think we said during the island, like, is this the like new era question mark? Because it was Johnny's breakout season. You have Paula doing more. I think it's starting to look like maybe this is like firmly her big breakout season. We'll see how she ultimately does to see if she can hold on to the breakout for very long. But I think while we are revisiting some old names that we haven't seen in a while, we also have just like a totally new crop of people here that I feel like, I don't know, in terms of like, there's old school, there was like, when I was watching this live, like the modern, and this was like postmodern at a time. Now it's way old school, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels new.
It does. It just feels a little fresh. It feels like a little bit of a revitalized, like, all right, let's get back into what we know, having challenges, having eliminations. Obviously, anything is going to feel a little bit more back to normal coming out of the island. And of course, we do have some of our island cast members here. Obviously, not all of them. There's no Bananas. There's no Kenny. Derek, if you want to count him as one of the main ones there. I mean, he was on the boat. He was there. But we do have Paula. We do have Jen and Ryan and Robin and some other people there to, I guess, a little bit carry the story forward here, but some of them aren't going to make it that long here. Maybe not even make it through part one of our coverage here. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure the island is going to come up in many ways, especially for Paula. But for today, we're starting with the Duel 2. The Duel 1 was only, 4 seasons prior, where Jody and Wes pulled out their big win. So we're going back to a format that is only going to reward a couple of people getting a win this time around. And yeah, I'm excited.
I'm so hype. I loved the Duel 1. I was so excited to see that they were doing another Duel. Feel like a decent cast. I don't think that Evan is exactly right when he's like, every single big dude that's ever been on this challenge is here. I don't think that's exactly correct, but it is a pretty stacked cast, both in terms of entertainment value, reputation, physical ability. So I do think that there's going to be a lot to talk about over the course of this season. Just the first episode alone, while it's not available on Paramount Plus, has a lot of stuff going on.
And why is that? Why do we think that is? No, we'll
I actually
think
it's not the obvious reason.
Yeah, no, I had seen a couple of reasons as to why it might be missing. Because I mean, I guess your initial instinct is, yeah, the big brawl. But I guess maybe more
Not
of
that.
the party might have had to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Well, we'll take it step by step and we'll get there. Of course, at the end of the island coverage, at the end of all of our seasons coverage, we talk a little bit about who is going to be here in the following season. But just to get right into it, yeah, we have a couple of representatives here from the island. We have a couple of big returns. Notably, we have Mark Long is back out of retirement. Ruthie, we just haven't seen in a bit. Same amount of time since we've seen Mark, and I believe Landon is the other one with a pretty big layoff, the same length as those two. Plus some debuts, and like you said, it's a pretty good looking cast just from the jump.
Yeah, you would see this lineup, and while there are definitely some newbies in general, specifically Hollywood, which I felt like for me watching the Real World at the time felt like, I don't know, like, ooh, maybe is this the first season that they like let the cameras in a little more? There was something like different with this season that felt like a shift, and so it felt like we're moving into kind of a new era of MTV, and so bringing in some of them, but also some big returning hits, some people that very much were in the mix the last couple seasons, so it felt like a big mix kind of challenge history almost.
Yeah, definitely going to be closing some people's stories, even if that's just like rookies that maybe just will be one and dones here, or on the end of their runs, or whatever the case is. But just plenty of people that were also kind of getting close to the end of their runs. So you're kind of looking out for their last couple of big hits along the way, and what that's going to look like for them. And we'll talk about them all. I feel like it's worth maybe just kind of starting with TJ's intro and talking about the setup of what this season's going to be, and then maybe talk about all the people.
Sure. We are back to the duel. As we know, that basically means everyone for themselves. The season is going to have a male and female winner. They're going to bring back the safety chain, though this time it is not just like the opposite gender starts the safety chain. It's the two people who win the challenge collaborate to pick the first person. And at the end of the safety chain, both the man and woman that are left will be going straight into the duel, able to then pick their opponent. So 2 eliminations every week. Very exciting.
Yeah. It's also here in New Zealand. Very cold. Very, very cold. These people are bundled up in their winter jackets and scarves and hats, and looking freezing
Onesies
out there. Onesies, definitely onesies as well. But yeah, as far as the format is concerned, sorry, I don't know if you actually said this or not, but just I saw on the Wikipedia page that they pointed out, unlike the original duel, there is a period of deliberation between the end of the challenge and when they start to pick, which is notable because just having that extra time to discuss obviously can be important.
I remember a lot of the big headlines, obviously, of challenge seasons. I remember pretty decently how the boot order will go, but that's not a detail that I remembered, that they got to deliberate for a time here. And I was left wondering, how is this going to play out? It's definitely, we thought there was maybe more potential for mess, but also maybe less potential for someone to mess up and pick the wrong person. But I think these 2 episodes very clearly decided that this is a very fun decision.
Yeah. We also have just the prizes for the finalists here. Kind of giving all stars prize money. It's 100K for each of the winners, 35K for second place, 15K for third. And this is, I guess, a different time, so maybe that money meant a little bit more back then. And certainly I would take any of it right now, but I don't know. I was like, are we going down? Maybe not.
I think that they just started rewarding second and third place a little bit more. Yeah. I'm trying to think back to the past. Well, the budget didn't go up. So we're still awarding a total of $300,000 in final prizes. Yeah. But we're going to start incentivizing second and third place a little bit. And I feel like people yearn for this to come back.
I mean, yeah, especially if we're going to get it production dishing out prizes rather than, people dishing it out to their friends and that being allowed. So yeah, I think that's fair. And then again, before we get into what's happening with the people in this house, another thing that we have to talk about here, and I don't know if I mean by have to or just like get to, is the Duel 2 and its iconic intro.
Let's say first, before even talking about it, thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think?
So I guess I feel like I have complicated thoughts on it because I want to know for sure if we all feel like this is appropriate as a tribute to New Zealand and New Zealand's culture, rather than just like doing it sloppily. Because if
Sure.
it is, this dance, this chant, this everything is like a full fledged production. And on the surface, it's like, wow, this is cool.
So, for anyone who has not watched in a little bit, they end up doing a, and I'm gonna probably not have perfect pronunciation here, but a Maori, like tribal dance chant, which has like, origins and intimidation, and it's an art form, and it's like very cool. And so I had done a little bit of research. Ligori actually also sent me an article about this before. So very interesting. I think at minimum for me, like I love learning, I love seeing culture, I love seeing different places in the world, and so I feel like that is like huge thumbs up here in my research on this. It feels like there was maybe a little bit of controversy in New Zealand at the time of, is this offensive? There was definitely some word mispronunciation from people there, and definitely some people were not trying, were not putting in the effort. But I think from, again, going off of only a few Reddit comments that I could find, this is not any other people's, they themselves had like grown to appreciate that, like, oh, you know what, like some people put in effort there, this was like cool. So I don't know that it's like aged phenomenally, but in terms of, again, I got to see something different, I got to like learn something, I got to see like a choreographed number from a bunch of these people. So I like it. I think that if I'm told it's really, really bad, I will totally defer to someone else. But as of right now, I think this is cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly where I'm coming at as well. Like if there's intel out there that like this is actually not great, then yeah, totally down to like change my mind on this. But just again, on the surface, just this entire I'm going to keep calling it a performance, is even from the people that aren't giving it maybe 100%, because obviously this didn't come across as an optional activity for their filming the intro day. You have people like Evan and Big Easy and other people that are just like actually giving it their all,
Yep.
and people that stepped up to like really chant some of these words like loud and with their whole chest, and really just give this whole package like a big moment here. This has to be up there, and maybe I've said this in past intros, like top 2, top 3 most memorable intros. There's the one that they're like turning into animals and chasing
Running
each
like
other,
gazelles, yeah.
yeah, a couple seasons ago, and like that's up there as well. But this one, I mean, the second that it started playing, I was like, oh, I've seen this maybe more times than I've seen anything else, because
Yep.
sometimes you're gonna skip it, sometimes you're not. I haven't skipped this one yet.
I have rewound and watched it multiple times. I was like, who looks bored? And that is the unfortunate part of this, is there's like Jen or like Ruthie or like some of the men are just like giving nothing in the face and just look extremely bored. And I needed like Abby Lee Miller out there, like, get your act together, like do it again. I don't care if this took 3 days, like add to the filming schedule. I will give props, like you said. I think Evan in particular just gives it all, and so that was really fun. I think that if you're gonna do it, just like do it right. And I think, like I said, like this has like origins and like intimidation, and you're supposed to be like making like very exaggerated faces. So I appreciated like people that did take it very seriously, and I think that like gives more like appreciation to the culture. So again, I just think it's cool. I went on
Yeah,
like a binge and watched like actual, like tribal chant dancing. So I don't know. I thought it was cool.
yeah, and just on like a much different level, I mean, this isn't the only time that we're going to see an intro along these lines. I only want to jump ahead to like recent times where we watched the House of Villains season 3 cast do a little
Oh
dance
my
at the
god.
beginning of the episode. And I just like, I think maybe at some point we need to put together a list of like any time that a season opened up with a cast doing a choreographed, like, I guess you could kind of squeeze like
Love
Love
Island.
Island 6 into it. Because sometimes these moments are just a fun way to start a season. This is part of the intro, so it's going to start off every episode, and it does take you a little bit just to the place that they are. At least that's what they're trying to do, to take you into the culture of the location a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely intriguing.
It's so funny when like we see these open choreographed numbers, and sometimes they're stupid, but like I still come to enjoy them for some reason, and sometimes they're cool. But then when people on like the Big Brother live feeds are like, "We're gonna choreograph a dance," I'm like, "Boo! Get away from! Switch the feeds."
We're in the Big Brother house and we're on the block and it's like, no. We can't do that. Can't do that. Let's talk about these people that are here this season. And I guess we're probably just going to hop all over the board here just to catch up with some people, see what's going on. I'm just going to throw some at you and throw some back at me. Brad and Tori are engaged. Whoa, look at that.
Oh my God. Did you know that this is Brad's one last chance to come compete before
Oh,
settling down?
no.
We're losing Brad.
Oh no, one last time? That's crazy. Big Easy is obviously back here for the first time since that final, so we'll see how he's doing out here.
Yeah,
Island.
fun. I think that is such an interesting storyline where on the island we heard about it, how much it influenced an entire season, and Big Easy fared fairly well in the Duel 1, so I'm excited to see what Easy can do by himself again.
Yeah, I mean, with a different reputation behind him now that he
Yep.
never would have wanted. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the season goes for him. Catching up with some island people here from the last season. Jen and Rachel, not together. No juicy storylines there.
It lived and died on the island. It is over, over, over.
Yeah, figured. Paula tells us that she just had surgery to get the knife out of her back.
Yeah, so instead, she's going to trust their best friend.
Why not? And Paula's also very much looking around at the guys this season. I would say not too dissimilar from last season, but she's looking around. Who are the possible suitors out here? We got Dunbar, who's still Dunbar, but you know, maybe she'll keep trying with that. Evan is like her brother, so that's not an option. She says Landon is gorgeous but taken, so just keeping an eye out on Paula here for that.
Yeah, I do remember this side of Paula. So I've just been so excited for her to really start popping on screen. And so even if it really is, you know, recovering from the betrayal on the island and just talk about what boys are cute, like I'm down. Give me the Paula confessionals. This is fun.
Yeah. We have Derek McRae is back for the first time since he got eliminated mid-season by Ryan Kehoe, right? I think is
Yep,
who
he
took him out
did.
there.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think that Derek had like this, you know, kind of big reputation on his first season. He's kind of like the de facto team leader at points. And so I am excited to see what Derek does now competing for himself. It's not that he's like the big fish in the small pond of the rookies. No, he is now on the even playing field with all of the, you know, some of these very vet guys.
We hear a little bit from Kimberly. Kim, I think she generally goes by. We have Nick here, who's using his charm to get in good with the ladies.
Sure.
Why not? The most notable one here, though, obviously, is Siobhan.
Oh, Siobhan. She's excited to be here. She talks at points like maybe the women are intimidated by her. What a legend.
And from day one, literally moment one, and I have not seen Siobhan's real world season, so I don't know how much of this had to do with like story from her past, but immediately the only thing that anyone has to say about Siobhan is look at those boobs.
At one point when she does go into elimination, it literally is like, yeah, so Anissa and boobs are wrestling. Like, okay, I feel like that might be too far.
What did he say? I want to find
He called her boob girl, I think.
Yes. That was insane. The boob girl. Yes, MJ says about Siobhan. And that's what people are paying a lot of attention to for Siobhan. They're asking her, you know, if
Some more than others.
Yes. If MTV paid individually for each boob to fly out here.
And Siobhan's like, they've just always been this big. Sure.
Can I comment on a woman's appearance here and just say, look at Anissa.
Look at Anissa. What do you want to what
Just
about
like,
Anissa for anyone who might not have watched?
We've seen so many different versions of like Anissa appearance wise, as far as like how she dresses basically. And I love this version. She looks badass.
Yeah, no, I definitely, this one stands out in my mind. Anissa with her like blonde mohawk. I definitely think this is an era for sure. I'm very excited to see what does Anissa bring on this season.
Yeah. So obviously more to come with her in this first episode.
How many
Uh,
times will I ever say that? I'm excited
I
to see what Anissa
I
brings on
know.
this season.
Different era. We're still in a very different era. Let's get in the house. Everyone's picking their bedrooms. Night one, of course, we're always gonna have a party. And let's get some more gays hooking up in the hot tub. Why not? With Brooke there
Why
too.
not? Yeah, gays, plural, but more than you think. We have at first what I think is Ryan and Brooke in the hot tub. Davis runs out, and if you remember correctly, when Ryan was hooking up with Tyler, he was like, "I really wish this was Davis."
Yes, yes,
So at
yes.
least some wish fulfillment happened here.
Yes, yes, yes. It's funny because I wonder like how I wonder how many straight people watch the challenge as like young teenagers or whatever, 20 somethings, and we're like, oh, this looks like so much fun that they're all just hooking up with each other. But like I guess I never really thought that until I saw back-to-back seasons of like Ryan and Tyler hooking up, Ryan and Davis hooking up, and I'm like, oh, this does look like fun. Just to like be young and free and having fun in a challenge house. So thank you, Ryan and Davis, for that moment of representation. And
It's
Brooke's having fun watching.
but like more than watching, like both of their arms are around her. It's like she's like in Ryan's arms when Davis runs up, jumps into the hot tub, and just starts making out with Ryan like on contact. And Brooke's like tangled up in there, like, yes, like she is woo girling right through this hookup.
She says the two most attractive men in the house are gay, and that's fine with her because she gets to be involved, not completely involved, because we do see Ryan and Davis sneak off to one of the beds, and I don't believe Brooke is under their sheets as
Not that
well.
we know of.
Yeah, I don't think so. But Ryan
She
and
does make
Davis
out with Davis
having some
though.
fun. Who does?
Brooke makes out with Davis.
Oh yeah, I mean, both of that. They're having fun. Ryan's been saying for seasons, like, I'm not afraid of girls. I don't care about vagina.
That was an accent.
So he's just sticking by how he feels. He's having some fun.
Exactly.
That
This
didn't sound like
was
Ryan to you.
I don't think it sounded like a human. Um so no, not quite. But I thought a fun scene, and you know what? We needed some fun because we're gonna have a lot else going on very shortly.
Yeah, this is heavy, and we may as well just start getting into it because that's really what dominates the next portion of this first episode, premiere
Oh,
of the Duel 2. CT and DM haven't really checked in with them in a bit. And I say a bit, I mean, they were obviously not on last season, and then the season prior, both of them were there pretty much all the way to the end. But the story was just like, yeah, CT was mean to DM
Yep.
once, and then that was it over the course of the season. It was not a season about them.
I think he was mean to her more than once. And for DM, who was not really on the Gauntlet 3 all that much, what she did get to watch was CT being really drunk and treating her poorly. And so she went home, decided, I can't really do this anymore. Told him, maybe in 5 years, but like I have to focus on me. I have to focus on my career. I don't think that we're ready for this right now.
The words career first are very triggering for CT. She says that like he doesn't like to hear that whatsoever because apparently she's used that phrase a handful of times and it's not working for him.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of point of contention. There's also more that doesn't air on the episode here, but did some digging.
Oh.
And so this season is, I believe, right after CT's brother had been murdered.
Very shortly after.
Yes. And the rumors that I saw online, Reddit, all the places are that DM did not attend CT's brother's funeral.
Ooh.
And so, with all of that going on, obviously, very heavy stuff from both of their real lives and CT and then their relationship. It's just clearly not in a good place right here. But the connection that they formed when they first connected is still so strong that we're still checking in with the story. I mean, look, obviously, there's different levels of this, but like Robin is in 2 episodes of this season. We don't hear about Robin and Mark once, but the impact here of CT and DM and what they meant to each other in the show, and obviously what it plays into the story of CT's short time here is really relevant. With all that backstory said, CT apparently totally fine to just, spend some time with other people. And that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super surprising. You can tell that he is a bitter when he is talking to DM. He's like, career first, right? Like, he does not like those words. He fires them back. As much as she knows, he's been having a hard time lately, and that's all we really get told of that situation. Just wants him to be okay. And allegedly, someone else wants him to be more than okay as well. As Robin starts hearing sex noises from the roof.
Like they're in a whole room inside the house and they hear moaning so loud. And it seems like that moaning is Siobhan. We get a
Yeah.
scene of from the camera's perspective of just like Siobhan and CT walking back into the main house area, and it's like, oh, what was going on there?
Hmm.
Siobhan won't confirm or deny what happened, but she says that she can do whatever she wants to do. She's a grown adult. And CT is very on to the fact that people seem to know that something is up because he talks to Robin and Katie, and he's being very vague while they're like, we know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, says blatantly, like, stop digging and stop being nosy. Like, he is going to take this one to the editing bay. He's not going to be telling people. I think, knows what's going to happen if this comes out. And so, he's friendly with Robin. He's friendly with Katie. Just like, leave it alone. Don't talk about this.
I also feel like, and this might, I don't know, make more sense also with what's about to come up. But what is it like? Been 3 or 4 seasons that we've seen CT now that it feels like there's possibilities of substances involved in CT's life.
CT has seemed to be drinking very heavily, at the least on the seasons. So yeah.
Well, and I think beyond just drinking, I think there's questions about, is anything else going on maybe while he's home that he's taking
Mm,
extra supplements of sorts. And so I feel like,
mm.
and I only, again, continue to bring it up because there's plenty of speculation or maybe
You're saying he's
former
raging.
cast members have commented on all of this. And so there's just thoughts that maybe CT, some steroids going on. So
Yeah.
um, with all the rage that's happening out here, it would make sense if that's the reality, but who knows? We have a party here for Kim's birthday, and this, as you were referring to, maybe this is why the episode's not available.
Yeah, most people think it's because of what's about to come. But no, we got a quick shot that Isaac is in full blackface.
And Paula's costume is not helping either.
I don't think that's helping. I don't think the episode gets removed for that. Paula also dressed as, quote, Pocahontas. So definitely some cultural appropriation in terms of Paula's costume. I don't think the episode gets removed for that. Especially now, but I definitely think Isaac's blackface gonna be what gets this episode pulled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because, as we know, this is not the last time that there will be blackface on the challenge, unfortunately. And as far as we see, at least, there is no reaction here from anybody in the
No,
house.
not even a little bit. I mean, you have to like kind of have known to look for it, I guess.
I
Like
forgot, truly
completely. Yeah.
forgot. He pops up and I was like, "What? Wait, what?" And then remembered that I did know about this, unfortunately. But it was one of the biggest jump scares.
Obviously, this whole party is happening with the CT and Siobhan story making its way around the house. And DM hears that this rumor is going around. She doesn't want to look stupid. She ends up having a conversation with enter Adam King. If you
Hmm.
don't know Adam King, I don't know, if you haven't been following the coverage, if you didn't know, Adam, of course, and CT are from their original Real World season, Real World Paris. So a lot of history with those two guys. And of course, DM and CT, just like, this grouping of people, all very familiar with each other. Adam says that she'll keep DM in the loop if anything is going on around her, around CT, or anything like that. And then we cut over to also
I
see
mean,
CT sees these two talking.
yeah, he is assuring her, like, I will not let you look stupid. Like, if anything comes, I will tell you no one likes that guy. He is, if your name ever so much as comes out of his mouth, I will tell you. And so, like, maybe CT got wind of at least that part because I don't think he would even love that much. But he says, Adam, he has a couple cocktails. He tries to look cool. Adam and CT have a very complicated relationship dating back to their real world season that they were both on, and we've talked about it here, but I don't feel like they ended on the best terms in the gauntlet.
No, and with this rumor going around, it is going to make its way back to DM in full here. DM was talking to some of the girls about what she heard happened. Katie is going to just straight up say CT and Siobhan did it. And DM is very upset. First of all, that nobody told her. Second of all, or probably more so, that CT would do that and make her look stupid. CT and DM end up having a conversation, I guess you could say, about this in the hallway, where he says, that she can believe whatever she wants. He's denying it. And he's also throwing the words back at her that she uses: career first, right, baby? Right? You want me to sit around and act like I just love you and all this stuff? These two clearly not in a good place, as we've said.
She's just like immediately crushed. She says it's disgusting and hurtful to Katie. When she goes to CT, she's just upset. He at first is like, yeah, you gotta believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. None of this is important to me. To which it's, very much like, my feelings aren't important to you. And like you said, throws the career first. You're the one I want to be with in 5 years. What do you expect me to sit around and pretend like I love you? It's bad. It's really bad immediately. You can tell CT is not in a good state of mind, drinking heavily, but also obviously has a lot going on outside of here where he never should have been here. Fully has admitted this present day.
Yes.
And he storms off to go find Adam.
Yeah, he thinks Adam is the one who, I guess, fully told DM what happened. Obviously, it was Katie, as far as giving her the confirmation about it all. CT goes and finds Adam. They're in one of the bedrooms, and they are firmly in each other's faces, yelling back and forth, exchanging some words. I mean, I don't think I remembered that Adam is the one who technically shoves first.
Look, okay, so here's what happened. CT is very clearly trying to intimidate Adam as he's storming through the house. He says, "I want to kill him." So CT's not coming in clear level mind, like headed. That's not happening. He backs Adam up into a bed to the point where Adam is going to fall backwards, and so Adam like grabs CT as to avoid falling backwards.
Just a little hug. Just
like a little hands on the hip. And so CT's like, "Don't touch me," and he's like, "I'll touch you," whatever. And so like there's a little bit of a push. There's a little bit of "Oh, don't get my," someone screams like, "Don't get my bed wet." Adam
That's
takes that as
Big Easy is screaming in the background because they keep spilling drinks on his bed, and he's like, "Get away from my bed! Don't spill those drinks on my bed."
Little does Big Easy know that there will be multiple beds up for grabs very shortly.
And little does he know that a drink is not the worst thing. There's blood splattered all over his bed by the time this is all said and done.
Adam takes a drink, throws it at CT, and CT winds up, clocks him across the face.
Has to be one of the most, if not the most, like, impactful punches that I've seen on reality TV, that maybe exists on reality TV. Like, CT is not, it's not just like, like he wants to kill Adam in this moment with his bare hands. And so he swings at Adam, and everyone tries to break them apart. What we're going to see over the next 5 to 10 minutes of the show is not a single person in there, no Big Easy, no 17 production members, nobody can tear CT off of Adam well enough. I mean, and it's not even just like when they do eventually separate CT and Adam, because Adam is down for this fight. He shouldn't be, because he is so much smaller than CT, but he's down for the swinging. Even when they kind of get separated, all CT wants to do is break away from the many people that are surrounding him and trying to hold him back and calm him down, to just go find Adam again and continue to lay fist and fist and fist into him. And he will not rest or stop until that happens. I can't, like, I wasn't there, but if I had to guess, we're probably looking at 20 to 30 minutes of this entire interaction happening, of trying to calm him down. Longer, maybe. And then CT just looking for Adam around the entire perimeter of the house, eventually finding him again to just keep getting swings in.
It's like, I almost want to like break this down, like shot by shot, and whether that is camera shot or fist flying through the air, because so many people can't watch this. It's literally crazy. I haven't watched this in a while, but once CT throws that first punch, he literally just pounces on Adam, and it's just like Adam's on the ground, CT is on top of him, just throwing punches, Adam throwing punches. People are just trying to pull. It is 5+ people, cast members, production members. People are trying to pull CT, and it's not working. So once they have CT restrained, Adam lands like kind of a cheap shot and like makes CT bleed from right next to his eye. Like, Adam gets his punches in, so it's not as if CT comes away completely unscathed, but both of them are continuing to try to escalate even after pulled off of each other. CT leaves a door just completely destroyed. Like
Like the
every
Kool-Aid man showed
single,
up. I mean,
yeah,
and barged right through it.
there
CT
is the
being
frame, but barely. He's trying to pull it off the wall. It is just absolutely every inch of that door outside of the frame has been punched through.
I mean, imagine like, when you go to like a rage room or whatever they're called to like swing things wildly and break everything possible. Like that's just CT saw the whole house as his rage room.
And
And so it's destroyed.
it's just people are screaming. Anissa's like, please stop. Like people are like horrified, screaming, like,
Yeah. I mean,
like not even like CT stop, just like scared for their lives because CT, once he breaks away, people are like, let him go. Like they just can't stop him. And so he runs through the animal, through the freaking house like an animal, like a mock truck. He just cannot be stopped. And as Adam is trying to get back to him too, they finally like do reconnect. Adam at that point finally wisens up and starts running. I think left out of all of this that we haven't talked about so far is in their welcome packages they used to get like, oh, here's some Under Armour stuff from the season. They for some reason were given onesies, and so through a lot of this party, through this entire fight, I would say about half of the house is wearing giant, adult onesies.
yes.
And Adam is sprinting away in a onesie for a lot of this fight.
Well, so I guess I can cut ahead to when CT ends up getting in the car to leave because we obviously know that's about to happen. Did you see what he had in his hands?
Oh, I did not.
He had Adam's onesie.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna fit.
Um, which prompted the question. So, like, Adam, when this whole fight gets started, is in this, like, I'm gonna call it a poker onesie. It looked like a bunch of, like, it was a green onesie that had a bunch of like cards on it.
Okay.
And then when CT gets into the car, I was like, what is he holding? I went back and he's holding that onesie. And I was
Huh.
like, is this CT's onesie that Adam was borrowing? But I also then see
They're
when
not the
CT
same
gets in the
size.
car, he's holding it to his face. And I was like, is there an ice pack in
Well,
there?
because Adam does strip the onesie off outside and gets down to his shorts. So it was probably just like the only thing on the ground that CT could
Right.
find to wipe all the blood off of his face.
But then Adam gets into the car for his exit in another onesie. I don't know if he's gotten his own onesie, and this is like a skin tight, like it is like yellow,
size?
green, blue,
Okay. Oh,
like it's
interesting.
actually his size.
Interesting. Maybe they got two. I do believe that production takes away the onesies after this because it just was like, wait, we got the craziest thing that's ever happened on the show potentially, and everyone's in onesies. Like, get this away. We're done.
I mean,
I think they take them back.
crazy stuff. Obviously DM is a factor in all of this. She's running after CT. She says that he'll stop if he sees her. That's not the reality of the situation. He is not made any happier, made any like, oh, I don't want to, scare her or hurt her. He's fine with it. But Scally, just with all of that said, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 most iconic line in challenge history comes out of this from CT.
Yeah, when CT is told, you already won the fight, what do you want to do, kill him? He says, I don't care, I win every fight, I will kill him, I will smash his head and eat it. Oh,
I don't think I even try to do an impression of it, but just the grunge in his voice, I will smash his head and eat it. Like,
that's
it
pretty
is
good. Much better than your Ryan impression.
I don't know. I gave Ryan like a Southern nice lady from the White Lotus or something, but yeah, he wants to smash Adam's head and eat it. And
really
if
iconic.
you've seen highlight packages of the challenge, you've seen that. You've seen that clip. You've heard CT say that before. It is just wild.
Yeah, like it's really bad and it comes in a really bad moment, but it is really iconic. Like, oh, he just like kind of dropped a bar.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly memorable in challenge history, if nothing else. Evan is trying to talk to CT, telling him how upset DM is, and CT says, I'm not with her. I can fuck the whole freshman line if I want to. Crazy thing to say, but
it's so crazy because DM has like romanticized this in her mind of, that moment in the movies where like the raging beast is going off and then they make eyes with like the one person that they love or trust or can calm them down, and that CT is going to magically just like, you're right, I was wrong, what is going on, just completely become a different person. And instead he basically like pushes her into a wall when he runs by her. So like that's it's a little unclear, but I think that's what happened. As he's leaving, she's crying and she's like, why would you do this? He's like, why are you crying? You shouldn't be crying. It's not like it's 5 years later. Like, he is just throwing it away, like, career first, good luck with it. He slams the door. He doesn't care about DM at all here.
He's fed up. He's fed up with her. Feels like he has owes her nothing. He, again, it sounds like there's some more stuff from real life and maybe some like, I mean, plenty more from real life between these two that is not going to come across in this small edit of what their relationship is today. And so, whatever she has to say to him, he doesn't want to hear it. He just lost it on Adam, and all of this had to do with, at the end of the day, the two of them, and her finding out and making him feel like he did something wrong, even though he feels like he shouldn't have felt like he did something wrong. And also he was trying to get away with having done what he did with Siobhan, but then it got back to the rest of the house and he's blaming Adam for it. So there's just so much going on here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that it can probably, like, people will spin it as like, no, he does what he does because he cares so much about DM and like whatever. Like, no, I don't think that you get to like spew that level of vitriol and run past. And he did not care how his actions affected her. And like, if he did care, it was to hurt her. So maybe he like hurt people, but yeah, no, that's not a good enough thing for me to hear right now.
I mean, we probably could do another hour about this fight, really breaking it down line by line, but
Okay.
that's the main idea. It's really insane. It is not available on streaming, but I'm sure that there are links out there that, especially I'm sure this is like clipped on YouTube or something. Haven't checked
It's so
that, but
crazy.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm like recommending that you go watch it, but I guess just if you're intrigued enough and you want to go check it out, I mean, it's impossible to ignore as far as it being a part of challenge history, especially for someone who is currently on our challenge Mount Rushmore. And by the time all said and done, when we get ahead to, present day with the challenge, I don't know if he'll pop off at some point. Well, he pops off. I don't know if he'll come off the challenge Mount Rushmore at some point and go back on. CT is a part of the challenge Mount Rushmore. So to see
Yeah.
this moment of like, this is truly peak angry bad CT, it's a big part of his story.
Yeah, when he went on last time, I was like, I don't know if I feel like this was the best CT season for him to go on. But at the same time, there's no way that he can't go on by the time of Smash Your Head and Eat It. And I don't think that I'm going to want to put him on after a third of an episode for the whole season. So it's only right that he was on before this, even if it's for horrible reasons.
Yeah, and I guess I might have just been giving this away with what I was saying. I can see him coming off sometime soon, just to talk about. So seats, what'd you say? Sorry.
I said potentially. I still
Potentially.
think that even if it's not the best run for CT, he has built up like the legend or the horror story of CT
Yeah.
is ever present on people's minds.
Yes, undoubtedly. CT obviously and Adam both are going to be gone here, sent packing from this challenge, obviously. And for CT, he is not around for the next two seasons. The next time we will see him is on Cutthroat as a mercenary, where we introduce that concept. And then he will come back the following season to compete as a challenger again. So 3 seasons until he competes again. And is this back-to-back seasons that he went home early? No, it was
No.
2 of the last 3 seasons that he's out in this way. He punches Davis on season 14, goes to the end of season 15, but is still this really angry guy and all that stuff happening. And then here obviously gets into a fight and he's out early. So it's been quite a stretch for him.
Quite a stretch for sure. And like I think CT was always known as kind of an asshole, but it's like we're getting more and more like, is he just like really problematic? And this is not like fun and or insurable question mark. Like can we have this guy on the show? I don't know that CT should have been brought back after this.
I think that is a very fair question, and I'm sure a very big debate that production was having with themselves, but I also know challenge production as well as I do at this point to know that they don't care.
No.
Adam is back next season. Adam has 2 more seasons to go, including next season. So we'll see how he's doing when we check back in with him. DM the next morning is very upset, obviously, that all of this went down. She says she feels empty and disrespected, and she's just used to CT being there with her on all these challenges that she's been on, and now he's not, and she doesn't really know how to go forward, but she's not leaving, so she'll figure it out.
Outside of her first, she's always had CT there, whether it was like a good or negative thing.
Yeah.
It just, is almost comforting regardless of kind of how they are doing. And now all of the sudden on this season where yes, you're competing by yourself, but they're also going to be like jumping into pairs, they're going to be picking each other. He's gone, and it's like a very complicated thing she has to deal with.
Yeah. Let's take a break from DM and talk about some other big stories, big storylines, big characters we're going to be following.
And I love, sorry, real quick. I do love right after this, we just cut to Siobhan being like, yeah, the rumor's not even true. It's like, oh, now you're going to deny it? Like, really?
Well, she's also dealing with, and we're going to see, Siobhan has a pretty short run here, that the house is just anti-Siobhan. Like, they are all friends with DM. And so the fact that Siobhan's walking around here still, the only remaining piece of the nightmare that just went down, like, she is completely cut off from any contact with the rest of the people. So I guess denying is her best bet.
Yeah. Social game was not strong with this one.
No. Evan and Paula. Let's talk about Evan and Paula. I mean, there's going to be more to come, but just the setup here. These two are locked in and loyal because, Paula just got burned by all of Evan's friends, but she didn't get burned by Evan, so she feels like she can trust him.
Why not trust him? They're good friends. I think Paula had already like made amends with Kenny on last time, so by the reunion. So I'm not super surprised to see them starting to team up here. I feel like Evan has largely become a main guy to this point, and I think that's only starting to grow in this premiere. I think Paula definitely found herself in, I think, a large spot in the game last season, even if it wasn't so much in the edit.
Yes. And then as far as Evan is concerned, he's going to talk about this more, I think, in the next episode with all the chaos that happens there. But Evan is just like really seen as this like godfather in the house, which is funny because Mark Long's right there and that's his nickname. But it's just like all roads lead back to Evan. So while him and Paula are organizing their plans for the game, Evan really feels like a lot of it is going to come down to how he organizes things. So we'll keep an eye on that. First challenge. Well, before we can get to the first challenge, we got to get some replacements in here. Let's get a new CT and new Adam. MJ is back as a replacement for the second time now. And also Nehemiah. The two of them are back here. Haven't seen them since they just had their team had a successful run. Did Nehemiah? Nehemiah was on the winning team there.
Nehemiah was, MJ was not.
End. Yeah. They have this reveal where their backs are to the rest of the challengers. And Nehemiah gets clocked, but MJ, I guess they're not super sure. But that's who's here.
Yeah. And I don't know if Nehemiah gets fully clocked, except Anissa's she's like, well, I can tell that the shorter contestant is black because I can see his skin through his thin socks. So it's like a halfway clock from Anissa.
We are going to get into challenge number 1 here. It's called Last Man Standing. And apparently this is a game of rugby. I say apparently because I might mark this as the number 1 challenge we've seen so far that I wasn't even trying to understand what was going on. Once we got to the second phase and it was like, oh, whoever gets tackled is basically out, then I followed. But otherwise, I was like, just stop hitting each other and tell me who wins.
Yeah. They just played a 1-point rugby game, and I'm sure that rugby is very fun to watch on TV with people who know how to edit rugby and with teams that actually know how to play rugby. This was not fun.
No, it was just a bunch of people hitting each other and really hard to follow what the heck was going on. It's obviously the stakes as far as the game is concerned is that we're looking for a winning guy and a winning girl. The last man and woman standing are going to be the winners. And look, we got to talk about the prizes, obviously. Make sure that Mel gets that information in here. Xbox 360 and Rock Band for the winners of this one. Look, if I got to go home with Rock Band, I'd be a happy camper. So
honestly, if I could get Rock Band right now, like someone send it to me.
So happy.
I think I have like a decent number of the stuff, but like I looked up just like, okay, I'm not sure like where are the drums, but and it's expensive now.
Yeah. Well, you better have your former set somewhere in storage. Not everyone, I guess, saved it. I know I have my Dance Dance Revolution somewhere. I don't know where, but I have it. And I have my Guitar Hero guitar, but do I have the game? I don't know. They have to pick one person from each side, each team to because once they split up to be out of the first round of competition, but that person will be safe from being selected to go into the duel. And so they have an interesting method to decide who that's going to be. They all number themselves 1 through 13. So the guys number themselves and then ask the women to pick a number, and then the number that gets picked, that person's safe. So Brad is safe on the men's side of things, and then Paula ends up being safe because they do the exact same format for the women. They split into teams. The only note that I have of all of this is that the men split into teams by like, oh, these guys decided they're going to be a team, and then the rest of them just by default. On the women's side of things, Paula picked the teams.
Yeah, a little weird. Paula's like, there's 6 girls there, there's 6 girls there, just split up. I feel like Paula is coming in despite having such like kind of a big L last time. It's coming in maybe with her head being a little too big.
I mean, my theory here is that Paula got so used to how exciting it was that TJ said, Paula, what boat do you want? She picked her boat, and it was no other reason other than TJ saying, Paula, you pick. And then Paula said to herself, I'm the chooser. I pick things now. When it comes to any decision in the challenge, I make the decisions. And so people are like, why is Paula picking teams? Oh, because Paula picks everything now.
Paula left the island like, I didn't get to pick for the teams last time, I'm picking this time.
She's picking everything.
So
she's picking the guys, picking her allies, picking everything.
I don't think you want to like put your head out in front so drastically here. So yes. I think you're just only going to piss people off. Like, let people piss each other off.
Yes. When we get to phase 2 and really narrowing the field down to who's going to ultimately be the winner here, in the second phase, once the first person tackles the next person, they tackle the next person, tackle the next person, you end up with a field of like 5 or 6 men and then 5 or 6 women, and they get the option basically between, on the women's side of the board, it's Robin or Ruthie. Who is the group going to tackle and who are they going to let win? They tackle Ruthie and Robin wins. And then on the men's side of the board, they end up having between MJ and Evan, they tackle MJ and then Evan gets the win. So Evan and Robin walk away the winners in this. No details coming your way about what happened in the middle because it was just a bunch of people tackling each other.
I think it's interesting. There is some dynamics at play, like for example, who's the first defender going to tackle, because that's the person they take out of the game first. They're going to probably piss someone off. So like Anissa, Paula goes for Anissa. They had that famous matchup in the duel. I think maybe a little bit of retribution for that one. Evan goes for Nick because he's not that well connected. He's the new guy. And so I think politics are definitely playing parts in these games. I do think the one interesting thing really to come out of here, or one noteworthy thing, was when they decided basically like one of us is not going to be able to bring Easy down, so we all have to team up. And even in that team up, Easy like throws Mark over his shoulder. Mark like lands on his neck basically, and Easy lands on Nick, and Nick is now complaining about how he's very injured from this
moment. He's pretty banged up. His wrist is not in good shape. It doesn't feel good to get someone, and we've talked about it before, last time we saw Easy, of like the perception of Easy is that he's like 500 pounds, and in reality that's so not the case. He's obviously like bigger than some of the rest of them, but like I guess still at the end of the day you don't want that person falling on your wrist in such a extreme manner.
Yeah. Well, especially it's like even like Easy versus MJ, I feel like I don't know how big of a weight difference there is there.
Also, I not to generalize, Ryan gets the assignment of once he gets tackled, he has to then go tackle. And I was like, oh, that's me out there. Not like, because Ryan could not tackle anybody. He just ran around.
I thought Ryan got somebody.
Not in the first run, at least. He might have, as the field was, eventually people had to run away from the people that they were really worried were going to tackle them. And maybe they would run more towards Ryan, and maybe he got lucky along the way. But he's like, he gets a confessional where he's like, now me and whoever have to go tackle someone. And then you see him like run off and get nobody.
He tries.
So we're going to have Evan and Robin be the ones that will be starting the safety chain. Brad and Paula are going to be safe. But before the decision time, we get a little bit of strategy about who's planning what and what people are hoping for happens here.
Yeah, it was funny because obviously on the duel last time there was no deliberation period. So you see MJ going to Robin, I think assuming the same thing's going to happen. Like, you got to save me. I don't have anybody in the house. I just came here. Like, please, me and you, we're going to work together. And it's like, my guy, you would have had tons of time to rub it actually after this. But seems like that frantic pitch did some pretty good work.
It did. MJ, a lot of frantic gameplay happening in his time through these two episodes so far. Again, plenty more to come. But yeah, in this one, he's really trying to make a very quick effort to pitch to Robin, and it seems to be fine. Interesting to clock the dynamic with Paula and Robin here. Paula just makes some comments about how she doesn't trust Robin. She's super paranoid and so iffy. And so, like, coming off of last season where Robin was so, not trustworthy of the alliance and ultimately turned out she was right because she wasn't on the boat that won the whole thing. But so it's definitely, you can tell that there's like not a ton of just camaraderie between Paula and Robin right now, or many people and Robin.
It's interesting. Where I think Paula just spent all of last season kind of yes-ending the guys as they talked a ton of shit about Robin. And so I think for Paula, as much as they weren't direct adversaries by any means, she saw that Robin's not the most reliable ally. As Robin said, she's like, I don't care about any of these people. I'm here for myself. And then Paula also knows probably like her behavior could catch up to her. So maybe I don't want to keep this person around super long.
Yes. I mean, Robin doesn't seem like the most worthwhile ally, just looking at the field. So I get where people are coming from. That's just how she's been presented, I guess, lately. Evan and Robin are going to talk a little bit. Robin wants MJ to start the safety chain. Evan is, first of all, doesn't want to be having to have game talk with Robin. Just add him to the list of people that are not interested in this ally here. Evan is looking to protect people like Mark, Brad, and Landon, people that he's working with, and just hoping that MJ will then create a chain that then saves all of his allies. When we get to decision-making time and the safety chain starts, we are going to have MJ be the one to lead it off with, which does kind of confuse some people. DM is like, I thought Rachel or Tori might have started things off, but MJ, he just got here, but
yeah.
okay.
I mean, as Evan says, he's like, what am I getting out of saving MJ? Like, what is my alliance going to think of when that happens? And it's so funny because Robin's like, no, it'll be cool because MJ will save Katie, who will save Easy, who will save Tori, who will save whoever. It's like, well, I know her fiance is safe, which I did forget because it's like, well, it's gonna be Brad. It's like, I don't know, Brad's friends. Like, we all know how this is gonna go.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I see anything noteworthy in the safety chain here. Katie and Easy being back to back. Look at that connection still going strong. Look at them. Mark to Rachel makes sense.
Yes.
OGs. Rachel to Dunbar doesn't make sense just because they just had all that time on the island, and I wouldn't have clocked them as having connected, but okay.
No, I think that Rachel, as proven later, is very like alliance first. Like, this is the structure. She takes that very seriously. And so I'm guessing this was pre-planned of like, you will pick Dunbar. He is in the alliance.
Mm-hmm.
The one that jumps out to me is Landon to Britt. I'm kind of like, why are Britt and Kim like jumping up this high? I feel like Landon is, goes on to even play some of these challenges with Britt. It's like, I don't think we've gotten a single confessional from her. I don't understand this relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem to come out of nowhere. When we get down to the end of the safety chain, let's go to Brooke here, because Brooke has the option between both of the hottest men in the house, aka the two gays, Davis and Ryan. And Brooke is going to have to choose, and she does pick Davis. Ryan was so confident when the format got revealed, and he's giving us a confessional like, all the women love me. I'm not going to have any issue with this. And then Ryan is not picked here.
It's unfortunate. I think this might also be due to the fact that Paula was declared safe in the first round by the random draw. So the person probably most likely to pick him ends up not being available, and might have even thrown off what is then the presumed order moving forward for him.
And just in general, of course, it's the two gays at the end of the line that nobody wants to
too.
save, feeling confident about their ability to then save them in the future because, they're just so not strong as the straight guys. Davis has the last pick for the women. He has between Jen and Siobhan, and he's going to pick Jen. Siobhan will not be picked. As we've already talked about, she's a bit of an outcast in the house right now.
Yeah. Well,
and then now
can't be super shocking when it goes like real world Denver, all in a row at the end. So it's like, okay, yeah, they're just saving each other.
Exactly. Ryan and Siobhan get to pick their opponent. Ryan is going to pick the slightly injured Nick Brown.
Yeah, that Nick had been campaigning of like, I'm down to go into an elimination. Like, I'm not scared, but also I'm kind of injured right now, so I'm not really down right now to go into an elimination. So Ryan has no mercy, goes ahead
No.
and picks Nick.
And you know what? People aren't going to have mercy on him throughout the season. You got to do what
Well,
you got to do, and you got to stick around. So
I
I wasn't like too upset with this pick.
totally agree, but then I do feel slightly less bad for Ryan when he gets picked to go into a second elimination immediately.
Totally fair. And Ryan is also going to both of Ryan and Siobhan get to pick the card for the elimination, what they're going to be doing. So Ryan picks the elevator. We'll get to that soon. As far as Siobhan and her picks go, she wants to take a big swing here and go for a vet. That's her thing around this house. She wants to take out a vet and break up alliances now because you know that this person's in all the alliances. Probably not, but she picks Anissa.
I love that whenever someone wants to take a big swing at a vet, it's always Anissa.
like, why me?
Yeah, I just feel like it always is. And so she's like really, really upset, really frustrated. She says to Rachel, like, I knew it. Don't tell me I don't know this game. Like, I knew I was gonna get called out. So unfortunate for Anissa. She's going in with her game face on, though.
Yes. And they're going to be playing back off. We'll get to that one after the guys duel. Mind you, there's snow on the ground at this duel.
Yeah.
It is so cold there. You can tell.
That's funny.
Let's start with Ryan versus Nick playing the elevator. And I want to say, just like overall, all of these duel eliminations are all very memorable to me. I think
Agreed.
this season I've noticed just watching the first two episodes is like I remember everything as far as like overall picture of the seasons we've already watched this to this point, but like this season I'm remembering everything. So
Okay.
I don't know, maybe just a point for me, a turning point for me of like every elimination here, all of the things that happened. It's really stuck with me over the years since I've watched. So this one included, this elimination.
Well, I'm glad that it meant something to you that stuck out in this way.
It's some I don't know why. Maybe it's CT and Adam's fight just really woke me up in the binge watch of like, oh, pay the fuck attention. But yeah, no, this elimination, the elevator, is certainly a memorable one.
Yes, it certainly is. On the elevator, you will be seated on a platform with a chain in front of you. That chain needs to be pulled, which will raise the platform of your opponent. The first person to hit the top loses. So if you pull your opponent all the way to the top, you get to win. You get to stay. Congratulations.
Playing for a slacker G2 personal radio player.
Sure.
And to stay in the game. Nick's got a bad hand.
Apparently he has cracked a bone in his hand, but he's still going to compete.
He's still going to compete. Both guys are, really going for it, pulling the chain as hard and fast as they can. Nick thought that he had a bit of a lead at one point, but the pain from his hand, he says, was reaching a breaking point, and it really slows him down. Ryan Kehoe gets a pretty big win here.
Yeah, they never really show us Nick in the lead, but I'll take his word, I guess, for it. The funniest thing for me about this is when I think we were previewing who's on next season. I feel like you were like, well, I definitely remember Nick. I was like, really?
Well, what are that's what I was just saying of just like I remember a lot more about this season. So I guess just
I know it was
the
just
first
you remembered Nick and not any like he seemed like the most memorable rookie to you in that conversation versus
he's also back one more time. So
we'll see how that goes. But both Britt and Kim make deeper runs here at least from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
So it was funny. I just expected you would not remember Nick at all from this.
Fair. We'll see Nick, one more time next season. But for now, the story comes to an end. The flirting he was doing to get his social game going with some of the women in the house, all for nothing, at least for now.
I want to know who are we running game on, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, we saw him with someone. I didn't write it down because he's not here long enough for I guess it to matter. But it was, I'm sure it was working. Then we have elimination number 2, Siobhan versus Anissa in Back Off.
Yeah, and Back Off. You each have a hook on the back of your harness. You need to get the hook off of your opponent and then run to hang it on the ring that is hanging in the either side of the elimination arena. And this gets very physical right away.
Yeah, I think they said, you know what CT and Adam just did? Let's do that again. Because Anissa and Siobhan are just swinging. They are just wrestling each other the entire time. We're pulling shirts, we're pulling hair, we are just wrestling to the ground. And how many times do people in the crowd or TJ are like, the hooks are on the floor, like the hook that you need to then go finish this elimination are just sitting on the floor, but all they're doing is wrestling each other.
It's so funny. This is where MJ delivers the line of Anissa and the boob girl are just rolling around. Anissa's like, again, the hook is on the ground, and Anissa's just like elbowing Siobhan in the face. It's so funny.
She's so mad that she got picked to go into this elimination. She was ready to take the aggression out, that it's like, oh, this is a physical elimination. I'll show you a physical elimination. Anissa's like in between. So Anissa gets the first win or the first point, whatever. And in between rounds, they're like yelling at each other. Anissa's like, well, don't punch me in the face next time. Siobhan's like, well, then don't choke me next time.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Eventually,
Eventually
they are just punching. Siobhan is kicking Anissa. Like it is. Look, I don't think any serious injuries came from this, so I do find it funny.
it is funny. Anissa is going to win and then promptly yell to Siobhan, get the fuck out of my house. She like takes her shirt off that Siobhan had just been pulling and like throws it at Siobhan. She's like, here, you wanted it so bad. And so Anissa stays. Siobhan is out. Siobhan will be back next season. 2 more seasons in total after this one, where we might get some even more memorable Siobhan moments. But the one here to start off our journey with Siobhan is definitely a memorable start.
Look, she delivered. She kind of delivers a quiet moment here. And I say quiet because when Siobhan says, come give me a hug, what the fuck? And no one answers.
No one moves.
It's just literally crickets. I think she ends up getting like 2 hugs, but Paula basically says, don't fuck people's ex-boyfriends. And then, nope. Maybe we'll pay attention.
Well, we go back to the house. And by the way, that was all on a cliffhanger, which was really annoying. That
luckily we got to binge.
Yeah, very, very glad about that. We are going to see Ryan talking to Robin about how proud of himself that he is, that he got that done. Robin's talking about her place in the game. She feels like, things are okay, pretty decent. She feels like she should have enough friends out here. Meanwhile, inside the house, we see Anissa, DM, Katie, Dunbar, all looking out the window at Robin and Ryan, and they're smiling and they're saying to themselves in, obviously there's a glass in between them and outside, so they can't be heard. But they're all just saying outside to Robin through the window, hi, Psycho. Hi, Crazy. Oh, we love you, Psycho. Hi, Psycho.
Yeah. I mean, at least they say that they love her, but it's not very nice. No, Robin can't hear them.
I don't think they mean we love you.
Yeah.
The perception of Robin...
I think DM and Robin do have a close relationship. They worked very closely on the Duel 1, where it was like DM and Robin and Keena and Jody. That was like a real thing. So I do think that DM and Robin are at least have a decent relationship. We do see them hug very firmly when Robin is later eliminated.
Just the perception of Robin very much seems to be that this is an unstable person, not just like as far as an alliance member, but someone that maybe shouldn't even be here right now. Rachel specifically says that to us, that she's got all these paranoia and anxiety things going on, and the challenge is not the right environment for that. So that's just what they're all thinking about her. We're going to check in with some of the guys, MJ, Brad, Mark, talking about, just the challenge itself and how hard it is being out there. MJ's got, his kid back home, so he's fighting for his family. And also just talking about the pecking order of the house. And he was obviously nervous in the last round, trying to get Robin to save him. And he's nervous about what's going to happen here. So just a lot of setup for what is the shitstorm that's about to come with determining the next safety chain order, which gets crazy.
MJ's like, look, now I've ingratiated myself to the strongman alliance, and so there's definitely a pecking order here. I showed up late, but I'm not really worried about it. Like, I'll make it deep enough. And obviously, eats the words very soon. But I think even still, probably should have been a little more worried about it. I find MJ incredibly annoying on this season so far.
I guess I would have a hard time disagreeing with that. He's just very frantic.
He is so pompous. He is, again, like, admits that he's very low in the pecking order, but speaks with authority, especially over some other people in the alliance, specifically Paula coming up. And I think he's so obnoxious. I think he's just annoying. I don't find him very likable at all. I've never been an MJ guy, and this is reminding me why. I think in All Stars he's fine. Maybe he's outgrown a little bit of the annoying, but I firmly here was like, oh yeah, I really don't like him.
It's like, how are you going to be like this when you barely got on the season twice in a
That's
row?
yeah.
You've been flown in as a replacement twice now. Chill. Let the game come to you. Whatever.
I just
And
feel
I
like he's
also
so
get that
annoying.
I get that he's like an outsider to an extent and needs to create a spot for himself, but I hear you for sure. Freezing as Puck is the next challenge here. Another one that just so in my head I can picture it with ease.
Same. This one stands
Um,
out for me.
yeah. You want to talk about it?
Freezing as Puck, you will have male female partnerships of your choosing, where one partner, aka always the woman, will always sit on the ice block, and the other partner, aka always the man, will push the ice block out onto a shuffleboard type court in order to score the most points possible. You will play this in basically heats where it's like two teams of 6 pairs versus each other, which narrows down then into two teams of 3 pairs and then into an individual heat to try to score the most points possible.
And the kicker here is that everyone's in Speedos and bikinis.
Whoa, I was trying to think of which guys refused to do the speedos on was it Inferno 2? I'm forgetting.
One of those.
Inferno 3?
I think
I think
Alton,
yeah.
Ace, and Timmy.
Yeah.
Why did I just remember that? That's crazy.
I I
My brain
remember
is
that
not
too.
supposed to remember those things.
No, that's very that should take up some brain space. But it is very much what is told to us is the big alliance gonna all end up on one team together.
Sorry, I can't move past the Speedos yet. What do you think about Mark's statement that he says, I'm the oldest guy here and I look the best in a Speedo? Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, I think that Mark looks very good. I think that pretty much everyone looks really good. I don't think that there's a person who is not rocking the speedo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna agree with Mark. And
I thought you were gonna go to Dunbar where he says that in terms of the speedo, he feels great, but his penis hates him.
or MJ, who's referring to what he's got in there as a bunch of grapes, and he's squeezing the grapes. Sure. So we see a couple of people DQ by hitting the ground. DM, her feet hit the ground. Brooke, same thing. Brittany falls off completely. And don't ask me why this is where I noticed it, but Big Easy gives a confessional in this part, and I wrote down Big Easy's confessional scarf.
Oh, I need to pay attention.
He is wearing a very, I want to say, like signature scarf in all of his confessionals this season, and just like all dressed up for confessionals.
I'm very excited.
Keep an eye out.
I noticed something else that I want to put on my conspiracy theory hat for a moment.
Love it. What is it?
I think there was heavy throwing in this challenge.
Oh, by anyone in particular, or just like trying to, yeah.
What stuck out to me first was Dunbar and DM not being in with the big alliance. And at first I was just like, oh, that's weird. DM's not in this big alliance. And I was like, oh, I guess like CT going home really could have screwed her here.
Yeah.
But I thought more about it. And Paula, very quickly names like, oh, we'll incorporate DM, like in terms of with the conversations with Evan. Dunbar had been included by Paula's measure here. And in terms of just looking who fell off on either team, because if you do fall off of your ice block, you do DQ. I don't think it's 100% people that probably more of their allies are on the other team, but it does line up that way for many. Dunbar and DM, I think, are much more closely associated with the side of, the Brad and Tori's and MJ's and Mark and Rachel's and Evan and Paula's. I think that's basically their alliance rather than the like Derek's and Ruthie's and Nehemiah's of the world. So I think that it incentivizes them to drop so that the other alliance has a better chance of deciding the picking order. And then once we do move into the semifinals, Evan and Paula are with like MJ and Anissa and Eric and Robin. Like they don't want those teams to win either, and they happen to fall off. I think there's some throwing going on here.
I mean, that would make way too much sense. Like that
Yeah,
that is the reality of the situation, especially knowing that like Evan's a smart guy. I think he's really organizing things, as I've already said a couple times. And I'm sure he's not the only one that could come up with
yep,
this plan, but that feels like something straight out of his textbook, or their overall textbook.
yes.
And just the way that the order goes down. I mean, I guess I don't know if they want to not show us people saying that they're throwing, or don't have enough time to fit in the strategy of it all.
I think
But
so.
yeah, that would really track.
I think that they would not love to expose that constantly. Like it'll come up from time to time, but I think that we are in an era where specifically like Evan and Kenny are like, well, this is a marathon, this is not a sprint. We
Mhm.
are going to play this for let's throw all these challenges to get rid of the weak team members. Let's like focus on how we can optimize our chances of winning rather than winning this individual challenge. And I think it makes complete sense for some of the people that fell off to be falling off.
Yep. We get to just to cut ahead to the end of the challenge. The final round is going to be Brad and Tori versus Mark and Rachel versus Landon and Brittany. Mark and Rachel, then Landon and Brittany both score 10 points, and Brad and Tori only score
Impressive.
5. Not bad.
Because no one
Eventually,
else had gotten past a 5. It seemed like everyone was really struggling. I didn't think anyone was going to score more than 5.
well, and then Mark and Rachel, Landon and Brittany have to go into a sudden death, overtime, whatever you want to call it, distance based elimination, or whatever. Mark and Rachel end up winning, having gone farther than Landon and Brittany in the final round. They win the challenge, and T-Mobile G1s with Google for a year of service. Look at them go.
Woo.
Mark and Rachel are going to go back and chat about what they are going to do, who is going to start the safety chain. Where I think definitely have to point out here, the Rachel and Anissa friendship. You talked about it just before, of course, with
Yeah.
Anissa complaining to Rachel about her going into elimination. Rachel is vouching for Anissa here to start off the safety chain, referencing, oh, because Anissa just won the last duel, I want to give her a little something here. And Mark is down with it as long as Anissa will pick Landon, which is one of Mark's allies, because also Landon came in second today, and they can, show that it's just fair. But again, the Rachel and Anissa friendship, or whatever else you want to call it, is active here.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting because I mean, as recently as season 40, right? It was Nisa expecting another favor to be called in from Rachel. So
Yeah.
this is a relationship, sometimes a friendship, maybe sometimes more, that has been called upon a few times, and so I like checking in on it.
But there's more going on that we have to talk about here. Let me just throw some names out there that are
Ooh,
involved in this mess. This mess that's almost so messy that it's kind of like the first challenge, where I'm like, I don't even know how to really get into what's going on, because there's so many different people
it was so
all over
fun.
the place. It's like a rugby game that they're just all bumping into each other with
I
different
love this.
strategies. We have Evan, we have Paula, we have MJ, we have Isaac, we have Ryan, we have a lot of people involved here in the chaos of how this safety chain is going to go.
It comes in, and a lot of what's being done here is a complete like orchestrating, puppeteering of the full order from a part of the house where it is all predetermined. We are not just picking someone and letting them pick who they want. We are going to them and telling them this is who you pick. This is the next order. They pick that person, they pick that person, all the way down the line. And you would think that as long as the house could agree on these are the two people that are going in today, it really shouldn't matter that much, but they need to iron out every single detail, and everyone feels extremely sensitive over in what order they are being picked in. And so this really starts with a conversation between MJ and Evan, in which Evan's very confused. I don't know why you're talking to me about this. MJ, you said like okay, about Paula's order. Like, all I know is I have told Paula I'm going to pick her. I'm honoring that. Go deal with whatever is going on. And MJ is starting to wind himself up a little bit.
This would have been so much better edited today, just because they would
Yeah.
have had some fun with it, of like confessionals from this person being like, I think I'm supposed to pick this person, and this person wants me to pick that
You
person.
got a
Just
graphic.
a graphic, I'm sure, like little cards and people's faces popping up. But literally everyone has a different plan in mind. Some of them are supposed to be the same. They're supposed to be collaborating, but it's just all over the place. And people are talking about, you have Ryan Kehoe is a pretty big factor in all of this. He's again feeling like he should have protection. Specifically, him and Paula are close. They were close last season. They should be here again with this friendship again. But we're, I guess, later going to hear from Paula that maybe she's not as strong with Ryan this time around because she doesn't know that she feels like Ryan will be able to offer her protection all the way through the game if he's not going to be as strong of a player as some of these other guys in this game. And so he's talking about, how upset he'll be if Paula doesn't end up picking him. But we're just, again, everyone has like different plans in mind. They do at a certain point kind of come back to the overall plan that this big alliance is trying to form. And Paula is very much a part of that. So as long as Paula just sticks to the plan, everything should be okay.
I mean, it really breaks down to Evan saying like Paula's close with Ryan. She's probably going to save Ryan or Dunbar. She's close with them. MJ's like, well, no, she should save me. Like, too bad. I'm in the alliance. I come before them. That's what's going to happen. And besides, Ryan's the weakest player here. Even if he does get called, he's gonna get called out anyway. So who cares when he gets picked? And so MJ's really throwing his weight around. Like, I'm in the alliance now. Too bad. You have to pick who I say, and that's the order it's going to go in. But Paula, the gears are turning, and she starts to realize if I pick Ryan, we could end up in a situation where Robin is unpicked at the end, someone that I find a little bit untrustworthy. And as pointed out by other people, that might result in MJ also being unpicked, but maybe that's what should happen.
She says that she just wants to make sure that Ryan and Dunbar get picked, but I don't know if she really means that for at least for both of them.
I think it is fairly true. I think that is definitely her ideal world. I think for Paula, like, what does she care about MJ? Supposedly she made a promise that she was going to pick him today. I feel like that's a little unclear on the exact wording of how that went, but Paula is definitely not willing to be played again, and she's going to make her voice heard in this alliance. So I'm glad that she's sticking up for herself, just like some other people do, because as we see, MJ is walking around the house like, Ruthie, we're going to save you, but you need to vow to pick either Dunbar or Ryan. And she's like, why would I do that? Like, you haven't told me the order of who's going to get picked, like what alliance I'm in. You've offered me nothing. You just told me what I have to do. Like, I'm not promising anything. So like, that's where I find many of the men on this season, but MJ is the mouthpiece that's getting a lot of the confessionals to be annoying.
I also do want to point out with Paula here, I feel like there's a little bit of overcorrecting where she was so screwed at the end of the game. She was probably spending the last however long like thinking about how she really needs to be so conscious of her decisions and play every move the right way to keep the people that she trusts the most that will keep her at the end of the game and not screw her over like last time. And she's probably, and if I'm just assessing her, overthinking it a lot. And so I think she's also like with this decision that's going to be pretty messy, what we're about to get to. I think she's just like playing the end game on week 2, and that's obviously not great. If she just kind of stayed the course and played the week 2 game or the round 2 game, she would have been fine. But if she gets herself into hot water here, again, she's just overthinking it for obvious enough reasons that she just went through something pretty traumatic for her within the confines of a game. So
yeah, it's interesting because there are a lot of people that you would think would either be more involved in the alliance or like not necessarily so connected to the rookies, but it just is working out where they don't have like enough numbers to save each other for whatever reason. Like in the alliance, I feel like some people are connected this way, some people are connected that way, and so it kind of falls apart once the main members are saved. So I find this endlessly interesting.
Let's get to the safety chain. Anissa is going to be the pick as Rachel was pitching for. Anissa is going to get started, and let's just cut ahead to, unless you want to stop anywhere, feel free, but to Paula. She's the like 6th or 7th pick in. And she's looking out at a field of like still 35 players out there, and she's struggling big time. Who am I going to pick? I think the conventional thought was that she was going to go to MJ or Ryan, but she throws a curveball and Paula picks Dunbar.
Yeah. And I really wonder, like, okay, she picks MJ, MJ picks Robin, then what? Like, couldn't Robin have just picked Dunbar? Like, couldn't this have been fine? But we don't really get the answer to what would have happened in that situation and why this is imperative to go this way. But for Paula, she's looking out for her main allies. I can't really be that shocked that Paula picks Dunbar here.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the other picks. Brooke picks Davis again. She meant it. She loves them.
An ally.
To Kim, to Derek, Katie, and Easy are connected here again. And then Easy picks Ruthie over Robin at the end, which feels pretty noteworthy. I feel like Easy and Robin, in my mind, have more of a connection than him and Ruthie ever would. But he says that she's the one that came to Big Easy and asked to be voted for, and Robin never did.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I feel like Robin thought she was in really good with this alliance, and I think now back-to-back seasons maybe was not as connected as she thought she was.
Nope, not at all. And then Ruthie is going to have a decision to make here between MJ or Isaac, and she definitely, you would think, knows MJ better, just historically speaking.
I mean, does she?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they've been on a season together, but
No.
like, I just imagine the alumni circle, you've seen each other, maybe. I don't know, but she also might not have been at anything lately.
I feel like neither of them are in stuff. I feel like MJ has been, off. He has a 2-year-old now. He's married. Like, I don't think that MJ is like at the events.
If nothing else, we had the scene of MJ and Ruthie talking game, and obviously Ruthie didn't seem to be super receptive to that, but maybe there was something there. There's not. She's going to be sending MJ into elimination by saving Isaac.
Good for Ruthie here. I mean, not that I'm like rooting for Isaac to be safe, especially after last episode, but I think that, as she said, MJ came in and was, kind of barking orders at her, and she's not down for it.
Robin is going to get to pick who she wants to go against. She picks Kim, which feels like, it's a rookie. She's probably weak. It's,
kind of crazy how she phrases.
What did she say?
I mean, just basically, she's like, should I take the easy way out, or should I? And like, I don't know, what would have been the big swing that Robin could have took that was not like directly taking a shot at the alliance? And so she's like, basically says, I'm taking the easy way out. Give me Kim.
Yeah. MJ is going to pick Ryan Kehoe, who is not happy about this, and MJ is basically going to throw Paula right under the bus, to which Ryan says that he is not Paula's keeper, but he's going to pay the price and go into this elimination, where basically, again, also feels like MJ is like, well, who can I beat pretty easily here? And Ryan is the answer.
I feel bad for Ryan, obviously, but again, as he called out Nick and didn't really have mercy, I can't really expect the same to be had for him. So, oops, unfortunate, because I think he probably should be more involved in this alliance, being that, like, I'm assuming he has a decent relationship with Evan and with some of the people there, Big Easy, but nope, not going to happen. And so for Ryan, unfortunately, going into a second elimination in a row.
He talks about how Paula's head is so far up boys' asses that she's just going to get stabbed in the back by them again.
Do you agree?
Well, I might remember what happens. Or just do I agree that her head is so far up the boys' asses? I mean, yes. I guess in general, kind of feels that way. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think that, easy just to point to last season. I think that is a tough one to escape, but I think that Paula is has her own voice and definitely is her own person on a lot of the seasons, but I think that she goes way too far to defend and support some of the men on the show. And I am excited to see Paula back, but I'm also nervous to have to reckon with some of what Paula stands by.
Yeah, and I'm just even thinking ahead to some of her final couple of seasons on the show, and it's I don't know if it ever gets any different along the way. So
I think she's a fun personality. She's pretty likable, and so I am excited to revisit. But again, I feel some of the behavior might not be phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just really interesting, because I feel like when I think of Paula Walnuts, I'm like, oh, this is a memorable, loved character person from the show. But there's been so many more moments of rolling my eyes at her than there have of anything other than that so far.
Yeah, I think there will still be good. I think, like we said, she's really just breaking out. She's on a ton more seasons. So I'm not super worried that I'm going to come away and be a Paula hater by the end of it. But she's been number one, I feel, or close to it on a lot of our wish list for All Stars. And maybe she doesn't hold the top spot moving forward. We'll see.
We'll see. Let's get to the two duels here. We're going to start with the women. Robin is going to be taking on Kim in dual pole dance, where there's a giant, basically like little rock wall on a cylinder in the middle of the arena. You will be climbing to the top. Whoever rings the bell first is the winner. Challenge here is that some of the handholds, the footholds, are going to be shared by you and your opponent on this cylinder. It's not very big. It's wide enough that you will have to share spots. But you can also, while you're climbing up, basically knock your opponent off and down to the bottom to have to start again. So we'll see how much that comes into play as they're competing for Beats headphones. Look at the Beats headphones making their debut on the scene. Kim versus Robin. It seems like Kim, in the couple of shots that we get, is out ahead, while Robin is somewhat close behind. But at one point, Kim pushes Robin off significantly enough that Kim just keeps on climbing to the top. And Kim, the underestimated rookie, gets a pretty big win here over, 7-time vet Robin.
Wow. I think this is a fun elimination. I do think there's the chance that the person gets knocked off and never ever can just catch up, as if you're a halfway decent climber. And I think Kim did a good job. I'm impressed. I am curious to see what comes of the rest of the season. I think for Robin, it's going to be okay to take a break.
Oh, she needs it. She really needs it. We say, even still to this day, obviously, plenty of people that are on the challenges back-to-back seasons, we like beg ourselves to put it out in the universe. Like, please, like get this person a break from the show, from us, whatever. And you can feel the fatigue for Robin here. This is, a pretty early exit for her after she was just on this full island season. She's about to take 3 seasons off before she comes back for her final 2 seasons of the show. So
interesting. Yeah. And I feel bad for Robin, where she's like, I come back here, I love to challenge myself, I love to like see what I can do. And so the challenge obviously means a lot to Robin. I think that taking a little break will be good for her. Hopefully we come back a little better suited to be here. So see you, Robin.
And again, nothing about her and Mark, which I don't know. I just feel
Very
like there
weird.
was a lot about the two of them, in their early seasons, and just nothing here. So,
well, we will revisit it at some point.
We sure will. So Robin is out. MJ versus Ryan in pushover. They are both on a platform. They have to start behind a starting line at the ends of the platform and then pick up these like foam pads to obviously get each other off of the platform. Whoever does it twice first is going to win. Strength-based elimination, size matters here. MJ versus Ryan. We knew what was happening here.
It sucks. There's a point where it seems like maybe Ryan could score 1 point, where MJ like overextends himself. Ryan is basically laying on the platform and kind of just could roll MJ off if he had a little bit more strength, probably. But yeah, MJ wins 2-0.
Yeah, when Ryan like does lose that first point, everyone's like really cheering for him, like, come on, Ryan, like you got this, you know what to do now. And it's just like, I'm glad you all had hope, but the second anyone saw this elimination, it was over for MJ to get the win.
I'll say at least Ryan gets the first good goodbyes of the season. I think like most people are like, oh, like we're sad to see Ryan go. Robin got a decent one. Something I did forget to say is that when Robin is saying goodbye to people, this is when she gives her like very firm hug to Diem. And as Tori walks up, Robin completely stiff arms her and pushes her away. And Tori's face is so funny. It's like completely incredulous, like, like what happened? It's so funny.
I will have to go back and see that. But yeah, no, Ryan's exit is definitely, people love Ryan. Probably still to this day. I think, he's still one of the people that everyone's got some sort of friendship with him, even when he's not on the show as much as, he was at this time.
Maybe even some people that he shouldn't be friends with, but
I mean, that's the case then and now. So another same story here for Ryan as it was for Robin. A pretty early exit here after just being on the entirety of the island. This ends Ryan's consecutive 3-season run. He will be back one more time pre All-Stars. It's 2 seasons from now. But this like big Ryan Kehoe stretch, one more season to go before his main stretch is done.
I'm excited to get one more season of Ryan. I will say he's someone that on my first watch really didn't stick out for me, and I think is a much better, like a much bigger contributor to the challenge than I had remembered.
I would probably have to agree with that. Yeah, I feel like he, especially like when you kind of feel like you're closing the book here, and again, there's another season to go. It's like, oh, I feel like I felt his presence while he was around.
Yeah. And under edited for sure, especially on the island. I feel like they gave him almost nothing. But if you like learn to watch a little more closely, which I think obviously we're doing on this rewatch, I feel like there's more there that they didn't use properly.
You know what I can't remember? Is Ryan still rocking the sideburns today? Does he still have those? I don't
I think
know.
it's on maybe on and off and maybe slightly less exaggerated, but I don't feel like they're gone.
They're pretty signature to his look.
Yeah. I don't think that they're, as almost like mutton choppy as they were here. But I mean, I'm gonna go look it up right now.
Okay. And then Ryan and Davis, part of Ryan's goodbye, a little, goodbye kiss on the cheek. He's hoping that Davis does well and represents for the gays. Davis not representing in the edit. He's not a part of the show just yet, but that's
No,
okay.
not so
Um,
much.
Paula sad that Ryan's going, but again mentions that she has to protect the guys that she thinks will be here the longest. The end of this episode is going to be a pretty interestingly edited scene where we have on one side of the house Brad and Landon, and on the other side of the house we have Evan and Paula having a conversation. Brad and Landon are talking about maybe some distrust of Evan, distrust of Paula. Evan is pretty much talking to Paula about how she needs to fix all of this. This is not looking good, and you might take the heat when the house of cards falls. Meanwhile, Landon is literally putting together a house of cards. So this was some fun editing.
It was interesting. I like seeing where you have Brad saying, you know what, I really don't have that much of a problem with what Paula did. And you would think if anyone, Brad and Robin come from the same real world season. They had stuck by each other very closely on past seasons, including the Duel one. So you would think maybe he would be someone. I'm going to go ahead and assume maybe Mark is not so upset about Robin going home as well. I just think that MJ is not as well connected as he thinks. And so while you have someone like Rachel earlier in the episode being like, that's it, like Paul is off the map, like she's done. And Evan like co-signs that. I think that it might not be as bad as being forecasted. Evan very clearly making it like, you're gonna take the heat, and like I'm gonna support you where I can, but I'm not going down for this.
I also just am liking the way that this ends of like, look, last season was the Johnny and Kenny show. And, whoever worked with them obviously had a good position within the game. And we see already through 2 episodes of this season that people are not just down to follow, power without knowing
Sure.
what they're putting their trust into. So while Evan does seem like this godfather type figure and Paula's right by his side, people are like very open to the idea of maybe we don't just follow them throughout the whole game. Landon's back for the first time in a while. Brad's, had plenty of moments on the show of like not just wanting to follow the crowd. So the two of them could be the start of, hey, let's take matters into our own hands. So
I'm very excited for Landon versus Evan if this becomes anything.
Ooh,
I would love
I'm
that.
intrigued. I did say that Mark looked the best in his Speedo. That's because I just didn't get enough time seeing Landon in his. I'll have to go back.
Fair enough.
And then we get a bonus scene at the end of the episode, classic bonus scene. What is Isaac doing? Did you see it? Pay attention to it?
Isaac is weird. Like to say the least, and I think that's like maybe part of the reason also why people don't take him that seriously. I don't remember Isaac's backstory, but it's just like a kind of offbeat guy. And like so
singing and dancing here and
he is seemingly doing some type of rehearsal where he is doing like a little performance on like the smallest stool in the world, singing, dancing. When someone interrupts him, he's like, oh my god, leave me alone. Like,
and
okay,
and not just freaking out on them, he is then smacking himself in the face repeatedly to like get himself back into the character, maybe. A little strange.
I think so. I don't know if he's punishing himself. Isaac, again, like,
I don't know.
This is a character. I am morbidly curious.
Anyway, let me peek into the confessional chart here. Through 2 episodes of the Duel 2, the leader is eliminated. Ryan Kehoe was leading the way with 8 confessionals, but he is now gone, so he'll lose that lead. Right behind him, we have Paula with 17. We have Evan with 16. Also eliminated, we have Siobhan with 12, who is going to drop down the leaderboard, but they're at the top. You have MJ towards the top with 10. At the bottom, we have Adam and CT never got a single confessional. They were out probably the same day
Yeah.
that they got there and did not stick around to film confessionals. But that's okay. What's not okay is Katie through 2 episodes with not a single confessional.
Makes me so mad. Stop hiding Katie. They do this like every other season. She's either the
do.
biggest character on the show or they completely hide her.
It pisses me off. In that article that was like breaking, I don't know if it was the one that I sent you or a different one that I found,
Okay.
that was talking about the intro and the dance and the chanting and everything, and it was like breaking each person's performance down, and the person that was writing the article was like, I want them to pan down on the floor by Katie and see how many cigarette butts are by her feet from this long day of performing that she must have needed to get through it.
Katie.
Katie has 0. Davis has 1. Brooke and Dunbar and Tori have 2. Nehemiah and Jen and Landon have 3 confessionals. So that's what the bottom of the list is looking like. I'm sure some of those people will, rise up to the top a little bit, or just higher, especially as they get closer to their boots. But that's where we're at for now.
Anybody who's gone home, could they make the Mount Rushmore?
Who's gone home so far? Adam and CT. I mean, I could see you making an argument for Adam or CT to be on the Mount Rushmore, but I don't know. That I will. We'll see what the season plays out to be. But I mean, if I can see the argument. I just don't know where we'll end up. Siobhan, I wish, but probably not.
I knew. I was like, I'm going to argue for one of them, and you're going to argue for Siobhan.
I wish, but no. Robin, no. I mean, the answer is probably no. Ryan, Nick.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out here and still a long ways to go. We didn't even mention this yet, but this is more than likely going to be our first 5-parter of coverage of a season. So
I'm excited.
A lot of episodes, or just, more than usual, I guess. So
this was a long recap. There was just so much happened in these 2 episodes. I truly was like, I think we could have done a podcast on each episode here, and been more than fine. So there's no way we could squeeze this down into 4.
Yeah, we'll keep it nice and spread out. We're in no rush. We want to, have some fun and take our time getting through it all. So hopefully you're all having fun listening along. I think that's about it for now. If you're listening to this in real time, we are still talking House of Villains. So make sure to check that all out. Find me on the Diary Room podcast with Aman, talking all things Big Brother all the time. Find both of us on our Patreon here, patreon.com/The Free Agents Podcast. Bonus episodes every single week, and all of our podcasts that come over here on the main feed go up on Patreon early and ad-free. So definitely worth your while if that's what you're interested in. And also, to support us and support the podcast, you can also leave us 5-star ratings and reviews. If you're looking to help us out with that, we appreciate it all. But Scally, anything else for you? Anywhere else people should be looking for anything else?
Find me on social media at Brian_Scally or at Brian Scally, depending on the one. So I will post anything that I'm doing over there.
Sounds good. We'll be back next week with the next installment of our coverage of the Duel 2, talking about episodes 3 and 4. But until then, take care, and we hope to see you all in the future.